Hello everyone, Ladislas Maurice, the Wandering Investor. So today I'm in El Salvador and we'll be having a look at the real estate market. Why? Because in 2023, when I came here, I spent 2 weeks, went around the whole country, looked at real estate, and my conclusion was that real estate back then was absolutely overvalued and it just didn't quite make sense. Now I'm back here in 2025 and I would say that my view of the market has changed because things have evolved. I'll explain why in the video, and we'll look at a range of real estate options here in El Salvador, from beachfront properties to condos to land to villas, and that'll help us get an overview and an understanding of the market. So the first property that we'll see is actually right here on the beach. It's a little cottage and we're gonna see Roman and Oma, the two agents here, and they'll give us all of the details.
Hey.
Good people, how are you?
Hey.
Good.
How are you?
Good, cool. So what are the numbers here?
Okay, so we're looking at a house that has a lot. It's 1,747 square meters, and it has 247 square meters of construction.
So about 2,800 square feet for this house, includes the pool, beachfront access, all of it, and it's full ownership, right?
Yes.
All right, because in some countries in Central America, sometimes it's leases, sometimes you need to use, in Mexico, a bank trust. Here it's directly in your name, foreigners can own this, no issues whatsoever.
Yeah. The only thing that you need is your passport and your tax identification number that we call NIT.
Yeah.
But we help our buyers, our clients to get it. It's super easier. And then
Cool.
You're ready to go.
Yeah, I got myself, when I came here 2 years ago, I got the tax number, that NIT thing, and it took me 20 minutes at the tax office, $2 in 20 minutes, like really easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what would be the property tax for a place like this on a yearly basis?
This is a good question, and probably a lot of people don't know that in El Salvador we don't have property taxes, and this is a huge advantage, when you see markets like in California, how much it will cost to own a property like this one on the beach, The taxes attaching to properties are when you buy it, when you purchase, When you're purchasing a property here is when you pay 3% of transfer tax of everything about $28,500. Everything about that, you pay 3% transfer tax. And the registration fee, that is 0.63 more or less, and then the legal fees.
Yeah.
And after that, no property taxes here in El Salvador.
How much is this property?
The asking price is $475,000.
$475,000, and then we'll compare with condos going for this price in other parts of El Salvador. Here we're approximately, 20 minutes away from La Libertad?
Yes.
And now we're away from San Salvador, the capital city?
Yes, and 30 minutes to the airport.
So really central, but it's not on the side of La Libertad, which is developing really fast. So that's why it's a bit more affordable. Really an interesting aspect of real estate here is that, one, the transaction costs are not too high, like much lower than in Mexico, for example, and there is effectively no carry cost. A place like this does not have an HOA, it does not have property tax. I see that there's I don't know how you call it here, a servant quarters or caretaker home,
Yeah.
okay. If I were to buy this house, is there any legal or cultural pressure to keep the gentleman in place?
No, the current owners need to close the relationship with them, and then it's up to the new owner decide if want to keep it or not.
Cool, and I think this is the sort of question that people often fail to understand when they go into some emerging markets. There's a caretaker, there's an existing maid, an existing garden person, etc. And then they come in and they just fire everyone. In some cultures, that's just completely unacceptable. And then you will have everyone hating you for it, and then you'll have problems with your neighbors, etc. Questions like this must be asked. The response will vary from country to country, but you just cannot ignore cultural factors like this. I'll give you an example. I had some American friends who bought a house in Mozambique, in Maputo, in the capital city. And there was a guy, his sole job was to open the door of the garage and to wash the car. And that was just a normal house, 3-bedroom house with just, one parking space. That was his only job. That's all he did. So when they bought the house, they figured we don't really need this. We can just install some automatic gate and we're good. And then the car wash, we can just take the car to the car wash. We don't need someone full time. So they fired him. But the next day he showed up again. And then they were like, no, just stop it. And every day he would just climb the gate and be inside the garage and just sit there. And they just couldn't fire him. He would always just break in and be there and open the door for them. And they started asking around, and Mozambicans just explained to them, he comes with the house. So they just had to embrace that he comes with the house, and then they just kept him. And it was actually quite remarkable. You could just drive, and even though there were a lot of cars on the road, he would recognize the engine and open the door automatically. You never had to wait. So
he developed
a really, really special
Here,
skill.
what we see is that a lot of the people buying this type of properties also came with the mindset of helping to developing the locals, because it's good that it grows on both sides.
Sure.
In the end, they end in keeping and maybe giving a better salary or having more jobs that they can do, and locals will be happy, but it's not this culture thing that if you don't keep it, you will be in problems. No, because the responsibility is the current owners to close any relationship with them before selling the house.
And the way I would choose to look at it, if I were to buy this, I would say to myself, I am not paying any property tax that anyways goes to nonsense and politicians and all of that, but instead of property tax, I'm helping an entire family.
Yeah.
Imagine you don't have a caretaker and you need a gardening guy, a pool guy, main guys for the house. If you're renting the house in your Airbnb, you need a host. In most of the cases, the caretaker ends doing all the things, So it's add a lot of value to have a caretaker,
Now we will go over to the next property, which is?
Yeah, now we're gonna back to Sur City 1. We're gonna pass La Libertad, and this property is for developers because it's a huge property. It's almost 8 acres of land, and it's just 5 minutes away from El Zonte, Beachfront Beach.
And on the way, we'll have a look at all of the infrastructure development that has been taking place.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Let's go. And there's a lot of infrastructure development in El Salvador. I mean, I can just see the difference in the roughly 17 months I hadn't come here. The roads are better. There are all these malls. We're gonna see a bit of that later on. And is this just on the coast or across the country?
The infrastructure is pretty much all over the country, but in this area, we're driving now from the airport to La Libertad, where Sur City 1 started. The infrastructure is insane.
Yeah, so when I look at the Salvadoran economy, the headline growth figures are not particularly impressive. I mean, they're even lower than in Nicaragua. Nicaragua is growing faster. But I feel somehow that the numbers aren't fully capturing the reality on the ground. I think one potential aspect would be the reduced corruption when it comes to government tenders. Now that corruption has been reduced, I'm not saying it's at zero, but it's been reduced. I'm just throwing ballpark figures, just roughly, let's say that only 20% or 30% of the funds get embezzled as opposed to 70%. In the numbers, the contract is still the same. Reduced embezzlement in the economy doesn't necessarily show in GDP figures, but you can start seeing it on the ground in terms of capacity building to some extent. Gosh, traffic is hell.
Yeah, construction all over the places.
It's crazy. The amount of road construction is wild. So you're saying they're building a 4-way from here in La Libertad to El Zonte?
Yes, this is the project Sur City Sur City 1 that the government is doing. We're gonna visit now the fishing market here and the pier, the new pier that have been building. It's beautiful.
And that was Chinese investment.
Yeah, that's what we're understanding. It was donated by China, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go check out this Chinese infrastructure investment.
El Mercado del Mar. So there are two sites. There is where you can buy fish, lobster, shrimp, and they have this commercial side that some of the best fry fish here.
Yeah. How long a drive is it to San Salvador?
I would say 35 minutes, 40 minutes. So that was the old fishing pier, and this is the new.
So effectively now the middle upper class of San Salvador can just come here for the evening, have dinner, and go back.
We had lunch a couple months ago with some friends, and man, being here, to me, it seems like you could be in any coastline in the north of Spain, for example.
When I came here in late 2023, they were still building this. I mean, La Libertad, the city, it looks like it's bombed out. Like it's not a very nice city, but clearly they're improving it. I mean, this city has to improve.
Yeah.
It's literally the first city on the coast from San Salvador, from the capital city. It has to improve.
He's becoming one of the main attractions, you know, good restaurant, a bar. You have like I say, the best ceviches, the best fried fish, and you have the market fish there that you can buy everything you need.
Thank you, Communist China. So Roman, you were talking to your assistant and you're saying, oh, please go get some shrimp and then and lobster, and then you said you'd send her Bitcoin. Can you explain a bit the Bitcoin situation? Because the headline news is that the IMF forced Bukele to remove Bitcoin as an official currency here in El Salvador.
In reality, nothing has been changing. People still using Bitcoin. Businesses still accepting Bitcoin payments. In fact, we will stop in Super Selectos. That is the major supermarket here in El Salvador. And you can go and do all your groceries in Bitcoin, you know?
The coconut ladies on the side, can you pay with Bitcoin as well?
You can. Some of them, they do accept it because we have the Bitcoin tourism, you know?
Yeah.
People that traveling here that want to spend in Bitcoin. So the merchants say, I do want to accept Bitcoin payments, you know?
Muchas
Le voy a
gracias.
pagar en Bitcoin.
Sí. ¿Puede pagar con la aplicación?
Sí.
Nice. How much is this?
I think it's gonna be. ¿Cuánto vale el coco?
250.
150. Say 150 and the amounts of Bitcoin that I'm paying.
Cool.
Enseña ahí el video. Yeah, done.
All right.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Sí.
Aquí los
Bitcoin for a
esperamos
coconut.
el próximo.
Gracias.
Gusto atenderlos.
Thank you. And what about real estate transactions? Still like before, you can buy real estate directly with crypto, secondary market, primary market, no issue?
100%. Where a lot of people are buying here with Bitcoin.
Amongst your clientele, what percentage of your transactions are crypto-based versus fiat-based?
I will say 30-40% of our transactions are made in Bitcoin.
Yeah, we're here in a very new mall that opened up, I think around 6 months ago. It became a game changer for us living on the coast side. We have banks, we have supermarket, we have pharmacies, we have fast food chains.
Isn't that your favorite?
Isn't that yours? We have coffee shops, ice cream shops, everything that you need, that every one of us needs. It's right here. It could either be, if you're living in Tunco, 5 minutes away, Zonte, 10 minutes away, and prior to this, we had to drive 30 minutes, 40 minutes to the city to just go to the supermarket. So yeah, it's a game changer, selling point for all of us living here for investment and being a tourist. We're gonna take a look at these two beautiful homes. They're being built right now. They got Oceanview, Mountain View, and they're gonna be ready in August.
How much, roughly?
Million dollar houses.
All right, let's go check out a $1 million house in El Salvador. I mean, this house is huge and you can tell the finishings are gonna be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, it's more of a lifestyle kind of investment.
So if I came up to you and I said, oh, I want capital appreciation or I want rental yields, you would not tell me to buy this.
Not for this home. This is for you to come in and live the 90210 lifestyle in Surf City. That's it.
All right. So the target market would be, is it Salvadorans? Is it foreigners? Who's the target market for this house?
It's Salvadorians, yes. It's Salvadorians who have been living abroad and then are coming back here, and for foreigners as well. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, quite obviously the beach house was much better value for money and has more potential for capital appreciation and rentals than this for sure. Okay, cool. So now let's go check out the other property.
Let's go.
So, Roman, can you tell us about the real estate tour that you guys organize a few times per year?
Yes, the discovering trips are 5 days, all inclusive, where we go deep into real estate workshops with professionals like architects, engineers, lawyers, accounting. The idea is that after these 5 days, you will have the knowledge, the connections, the education, and you will understanding like where you want to be in El Salvador, and also if El Salvador is for you or not.
Look, often people tend to cheap out on these things and they're like, oh, why should I pay for a real estate tour? I mean, one, you don't have to. You can just get in touch with Roman and his team or him can show you listings. But educating yourself when you invest overseas is so important. The risk is that you don't know what you don't know, and then you end up making mistakes that could have been entirely avoidable had you been better prepared. So if you're interested in getting in touch with Roman, there's a link in the description below. And also I wrote a whole article, that was a few weeks of research here on the ground in El Salvador on the different areas you can invest in Salvador, some key learnings, the tax system, etc. So really complete guide for investors, and there's a link below as well. So Roman stopped the car to buy some watermelon. How much is the watermelon?
The one that I buy, $4.
$4 for a whole watermelon like this. And Jose?
Yes.
You are originally from the US, originally from El Salvador. We just started talking.
Right. So I'm from El Salvador, but I moved to the US in '92, and I just came back to live here.
So you came back full time?
Yes, full time.
And what made you move back to?
Safety. Basically, the country is a lot better than when I left, and it just feels, that you have a better life now here.
And did you come back to a family property, or did you buy a place here?
No, I actually purchased my first property here in 2021, I think it was.
And what were you doing back in the US?
An auto mechanic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you came here with your American partner?
Yes.
Okay.
My wife, yes.
Cool. And she's happy here?
Oh yeah. She doesn't want to go back.
Cool. So you're seeing that more and more Salvadorans coming back?
Yep.
More than before?
Oh yeah. A lot of people actually want to come back over here now. Yeah.
Cool. So this is really a big source of demand, right, for real estate. You're seeing this with your clients?
Yeah. Many Salvadorians that, like Jose, that left the country, that people used to call hermanos lejanos, but now hermanos cercanos.
Right.
Close brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are looking to come back, or Salvadorians that left their kids born in the USA, have successful built companies, and now they're trying to get back to connecting with their roots. That is beautiful to see it.
Yeah, so it's twofold. So about 24% of GDP in El Salvador is remittances. So like literally the number one driver of the economy in El Salvador is money being made in the US and by Salvadorans and being sent back to El Salvador to help family members, etc. But now it's twofold. It's also people coming back here and moving full-time. And this isn't counted as a remittance in the numbers, but it is a source of growth for the country. So now we just arrived in El Zonte. So Roman, there are two particular little towns or villages that people like to invest in, El Tunco and El Zonte. Can you explain the difference between the two? Because they're very different. The vibe's totally different.
Yeah, there are two different places. El Tunco used to be the most touristic place in El Salvador. Both towns used to be like a surfing town, you know, but El Tunco have more parties. If you're young and you want to have fun, you want to go to the bars, discos, you got to stay to El Tunco. And then in El Zonte become Bitcoin Beach because we started the project Bitcoin Beach here. That have been changing and adding a lot of value to El Zonte, you know, because all the Bitcoin tourism prefer to stay in here in El Zonte because this is the ground zero, you know.
And there's a lot of like health tourism and that sort of stuff here.
And I will say the El Zonte is not a party town, it's more like a family buys, really healthy buy, you know, a lot of yoga, meditation, surfing. You go to sleep early and you wake up with the sunrise to surfing or just see the sunrise, you know.
All right, so looking at the place, so 109 square meters on paper, so about 1,200 square feet. I would tend to think they added all the common areas, right, to that number, because inside it doesn't quite feel like the size.
It's the lot and the terrace over there. So
Okay.
yeah, it's the space.
Cool. So who's the target market for this?
It would be, it's lifestyle and investment too. So we have foreigners who are living here or foreigners who are spending just vacation time here, going off season to somewhere else and on season, high season here, or the other way around.
What are the occupancy rates?
On high season, it's up to 95%, and then low season, it can go 45, 50%.
What are the nightly rates, roughly?
On a one-bedroom apartment, it can be $305.
$300 per
Yeah.
night for an apartment
Yes.
like this.
Yes.
And in low season?
There's a significant discount on low season, yeah.
Look, when you see this, it's far from cheap. It's quite expensive, to be fair. On the other hand, when you look at the type of people that move here and that spend time here, then the market starts to make more sense. I think this is important. Who comes to El Zonte?
We get a lot of tourists. We get a lot of investors. We got a lot of the Bitcoin community. We got also a lot of people that are coming back to El Salvador. We also have people who are just stopping by, a lot of surfers, a lot of coaches, a lot of trainers. This tiny town, it's high-end. So it is luxurious. It is for the comfort. It is for the lifestyle.
So when you walk around here in the evening and you just see the type of people walking around, you see a lot of these West Coast entrepreneurs, crypto people, a lot of these tech optimists, you know, that type of San Francisco crowd. For that crowd, this is not particularly expensive. And when people buy in this part of, like on Bitcoin Beach, it's a market that's a little irrational in the sense that people are buying into the story, people are buying into the vision. So I'd say it's unlike typical markets. Here, things are a bit different. When you really look at this, you tend to understand why prices are relatively high. I mean, would I come here personally and buy hoping to make massive capital appreciation to buy a unit like this? No. I mean, the occupancy rates are really high, but this is pretty much the only condo building in town, right?
Right now, yes.
But there's a few coming.
Yes.
So one, it's uncertain what the occupancy rates will be once this supply comes onto the market. And it's just, what, 3-4 buildings or so?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not like huge either. And two, I'd say it shows that the market is maturing. Because when I came here late 2023, there was literally nothing. Now there's more of a market, there's more supply. There are more condo buildings coming through. There's greater liquidity as well. So it's a market that's maturing. So from that point of view, it's good news. I'd say this is the sort of apartment for someone who wants to be in El Zonte specifically, that want their own place when they come to El Zonte, that don't want to deal with the house. They just want lock up and go. And when they're away, they just put it on Airbnb. Is this a fair statement?
It goes beyond that. It really does goes beyond that. It is a growing market. Right now we only have one airport where it's being built, the second airport. So we're expecting a lot more tourism, a lot more investment, a lot more of the big companies coming here. Prices right now are fair enough for where you're located at, how the economy is building up, how the safety is here. You're 100% safe. And a lot of investments and a lot of families too, and tourism is coming here. So it's not coming down. It is, yeah, it's blooming.
So I'd say it's expensive, but I don't see prices crashing at all. There's a floor in this market, seeing the type of people that are moving here for sure. I mean, just walking around in the evening, like a bit over 18 months compared to when I was here last time, a lot more energy. The restaurants are a lot more full. And right now I came in low season. Back then I came in peak season. So it's, the difference on the ground is absolutely palpable. Again, I wouldn't buy this for capital gains, but I don't think that people who buy this would lose money.
No.
Yeah, and we were talking over lunch. You were saying that a lot of people who come and move here, it's not just, all these crypto people and stuff, but you also have a lot of families that want safety, that want some level of conservatism, but still in a dynamic environment. And there's a lot of homeschooling happening here. I mean, your own child, you homeschool here?
Yeah, so this is, like I told you, a growing community. Not many people used to live here and decided to buy here and set up the bases here. So we have complete families that are coming here with children, and there are also the families that are staying here that decide to stay here and having children here. We didn't have a private school or homeschooling system that would support those families. But right now...
On the beach, but in San Salvador, yes.
Yes, it happened the same thing as a supermarket. We had a supermarket there, but you had to drive there. So it was not, you didn't have the life in the tropics that you wanted to. So it was the hustle of always driving to the city, back and forth, some traffic. But right now, there's a need of the supermarket, there's a need of the pharmacy, and there's a need of the school. And now we have gathered together and we're starting the project. Partially it's Bitcoin funding, and then partially are the initial families that are setting up with their own money, with their own big ideas of how we want to raise our children and moving forward with the project.
How do you want to raise your children? What are the values of the homeschooling hub?
It's the freedom, the creativity, the being around with nature, community, and as smart as you can be and as happy as you can be.
All right, yeah. Cool. So not your typical public school system.
No.
And now we're going to go check out
some land that is ready to be developed.
So for investors. So we just bumped into Rob, Elizabeth, and their charming family, and you guys are here on vacation in El Salvador, right?
We are.
First time to the country?
First time to El Salvador.
So what made you come here? Because it's pretty obscure, no?
Pretty obscure. Family loves to surf. We're here for the waves.
Have you tried some surfing in other parts of Central America?
Nicaragua, Costa Rica, now El Salvador.
And how does El Salvador compare to these other destinations?
Surfing probably number one as far as the cultural experience and the waves.
I would say number one for sure.
Number one? Why?
Compared to Nicaragua and Costa Rica, way better waves in Costa Rica, way better roads and food and
the people,
many
very
lovely
friendly.
breaks, good breaks for surfing. There's several for beginners.
All within short distance.
Beginners to professionals, great waves.
Will you guys be coming back?
Yes. And normally we don't even do repeat trips, so
Oh yeah?
there you go.
Yep, so
All
El
right.
Salvador has won us.
Cool, fantastic. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
These are some of the developments.
Yeah, this is the other side of El Zonte, and this is some of the new construction project, condominiums project that will be done by December, in the end of the year. This.
And how much per square meter roughly for these apartments?
The price was between 3 and 5,000 per square meter.
For $3,000 to $5,000 a square meter, I feel this one is more interesting. It's like full frontal beach than the other one where it's a side view.
This is the other project here in the back.
Okay.
Sunset here. We will be able to see it more in the back, but this is going to be the access to walk into the beach through here, you know.
And price per square meter here?
Pretty much the same,
Okay.
you know, just a smaller apartments.
Look, supply is coming, but it's not like the numbers are massive either. I'll say it, I think the prices are actually fair, taking into account the people that are coming here. If you want beachfront, you can get much better deals in Panama or in Nicaragua, etc. But here again, the price, the market is different. It is a West Coast US market in many respects. And you're seeing families and just generally people buying as a plan B as well. Plan B from what?
Moving here is something happened, you know, like a lot of European people, a lot of people from the United States or Canada. This is another building, 8 units, Zonte Villas, also will be done in December.
So again, small building.
Yes. So a lot of these families want to have a plan B, you know, like everyone is talking about having a plan B if something happen again, having a safe place that you can move your family, and a place where is safety, where there is freedom, and there is Bitcoin, and also like that there is a good leader. I think El Salvador is that place, you know, and a lot of families feel confidence about that. You know, El Salvador is attracting some of the wealthy people now, and smarter people. At the stage where El Salvador is now, maybe it's not for everyone, you know. A lot of people came here maybe 2 years ago and saying like, it doesn't feel that I can bring my wife jet, you know. But now, 2 years later,
Now there's Starbucks.
yeah, they're saying like, now I feel confident my wife will love to be in one of these units, you know, that my kids will enjoy it being in the rooftop, doing ice bath every day, you know, surfing. So I think this place is changing so fast. It's hard to keep up with everything, you know, that is happening.
Yeah. So we just saw a big 8-acre plot of land on the main road, 3 minutes away from El Zonte?
5 minutes away.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
And 1 minute away from this beach. You can see all the surfers there. So what would be the idea for such a, how much is the land?
It's almost 8 acres of land, and the price is $27 per square meter.
Okay, so $875,000 for the lot. So obviously you can do a bit of commercial, I guess. Like what can you do?
That property will be perfect for doing like a small development, residential maybe in the back with apartments, condominiums with amazing view to the ocean, and maybe the front side with a commercial plaza, you know. We're here in the middle of Sur City 1. Sur City 1 goes from La Libertad to Misata, 35 minutes away from here where we are now, you know.
So what are the costs roughly to develop land like this, to bring electricity, the road, the water, all of that, to turn it into a development per square meter? How much are we talking?
It's always depends of what type of land and the location where we are. In this case, we're talking a land that have electricity right here, you know. More difficult, but it's possible, is the water, because there is not gonna be water from the city. Maybe the alternative will be to drill a well. What we do when we have clients that are developers is that we have our team, a team of engineers, architects that we're working with them, and then we evaluate based on the idea of what the clients want to do, you know, because it's different if someone just want to build a tower there or someone want to do townhouses around the property, you know.
What about the bureaucracy? Because in some countries it's, you know, it's easy to say, oh, I want to develop this land, you know, sectioning it off into different titles, but then you actually face the bureaucracy and things take forever.
I will say it have been getting better, you know. The government have been centralized in one institutions that oversee all the permits and developments. But there are rules, you know, like El Salvador, you will find people that will tell you it's possible. Yes, it's possible, because that's what you want to hear, you know. But in the end, you want to have people that tell you what you want to do is not possible in that way, but let's try to.
And this is a big warning to especially Americans that come and do business in Latin America. Latinos have a different way of saying no, and it's not necessarily a very direct way of saying no.
Yeah.
So in their minds, they'll have told you no by, indirectly. They did their job, but you as an American don't understand that they told you no, and then eventually reality hits the wall, and then it's blame game and it gets really ugly. You really need to work on your cross-cultural communication skills in this environment.
Or have someone that help you to navigate that. That's why we're doing this business, because it's about trust,
In terms of reforms, economic reforms, there were quite a few economic reforms that were taking place here that were enacted by the government. The reality is that the pace of reforms has slowed down, and there are improvements, sure, but it's from a very low base, all right? So there's the perception that El Salvador is paradise for business, etc. There are improvements, but it's still not at all a paradise for business. Things are moving in the right direction, but it's still very much bureaucratic, and you absolutely need the right support on the ground.
All the bureaucracy, it had been coming down to almost to do things with common sense,
Almost with common sense.
And no, but it's the truth. But I never seen El Salvador in the place that we are now, in terms of when you come with an idea, with a project that you wanna do here, all the institutions are ready to help and support. I will never feel like this in the USA or Canada when I go to the mayor and say, I want to build this, and they say, how can I help you, That is one of the reasons why so many people are feeling that energy and wanna do something here, wanna build project here, wanna invest in here,
Look, and in terms of valuations compared to 2023 when I came here, my thesis back then was that prices were at this level, but they were already pricing in a lot of the developments. And I can tell you in a year and a half, a lot of the development has been catching up and has been materializing. So, and then you can really see that tourism is booming. You can see that the type of crowd that the government has been targeting, especially on this coastal area, has been coming, these like very high net worth individuals. So it explains a lot of the valuations. Obviously prices here are completely out of whack with local income, but again, it's a different market. It's a West Coast USA market. This is how these valuations are explained fundamentally. I wrote a whole report on the real estate market in El Salvador, the different cities, etc. There's a link below. And if you want to get in touch with Roman and his team, you guys can help on the coast and throughout the country.
Yes, all the people that have been working with us, they came and say, hey, this is my dream home. This is my budget, help me finding that, And then that is the beauty, El Salvador is that place where a lot of people can come and build your dream home here, And doesn't have to be in El Zonte if it's too expensive, You can just go 30 minutes away from El Zonte, it's gonna be half of the price, Yeah. But I do believe El Salvador there is a place for many people, and also I do believe it's not for everyone, But you have to come and see it in real life, otherwise you will never have this sense.
Yeah, definitely worth a trip. So if you want to get in touch with Roman, there's a link below. Roman, thank you very much.
Thank you for being here, yes.
Make sure to download my free ebook, 12 Mistakes to Avoid When Investing in International Real Estate, which you can find on my website, link below. And feel free to follow me on Instagram @TheWandering Investor. I look forward to hearing from you.